Hello, so today I'm going to be teaching you how to make t-shirt yarn, taking just a simple t-shirt like this, a cotton t-shirt, and we're gonna take it and cut it all up and it's gonna end up in a yarn ball. So I'm gonna show you the first step, which is finding t-shirts. So you're gonna wanna look for t-shirts that are not, we don't want dry fit, no jerseys, no like stretchy spandex material. You typically want just a cotton shirt. I'll show you what the tag looks like. So like this brand is okay. There are plenty of other brands as long as they're just cotton. And you want a shirt that's not covered in design. See how this has about half of it's like no design? That's good. Because if you can't cut up the part that has the design on it because it doesn't really work very well. So you're gonna take the shirt and you're gonna look, where does the design end? You have to check both sides. So there's no design on the back on this one. See, no design? So you don't have to worry about that. But on the front, we have to cut it just below the design. So you're gonna lay it down on your table and then you're gonna grab your fabric scissors. I recommend, like, using little kid scissors is not gonna work very well. I recommend fabric scissors, especially this one. There's the Singer brand, but they're very, very good. You have to get your shirt laying very flat. And then you're gonna go right about here and you're gonna cut all the way across. Okay, so I will show you. It doesn't have to be perfect. You wanna make the best line you can, but it's not the end of the world. And then you take this, and you don't need that anymore. This isn't really useful anymore, so you can just throw it aside. Now we have this, okay? You're gonna lay it like this. So it really just depends. I'm right-handed, so I like to have this on the right side, where the seam is. Another pro tip I didn't mention about the shirts, you don't want shirts that have seams like this on the side. Does that make sense? So if they have a seam down the side, it's a lot more complicated. You need it to be no seam. See how it's all flat all the way around? That's the kind of shirt you want. So the next steps is we want to make thin strips. And we don't want to cut the end off. So we're going to stop about 2 finger lengths from the top. But we're going to cut a finger over. So we're going to start right about here. And we're going to cut, stop. And then we're going to come back down. We're gonna go a finger length over, and we're gonna cut, stop. Because you don't wanna cut this top part. We need to leave this attached. So you don't wanna ever cut 2 finger lengths too close. So always stop right about here. Every time, stop right about here. And when you get to this last strip, you can cut that off. Now I'll demonstrate. Okay, so I cut all the way up, and I stopped about 2 finger lengths from the top. Now I'm gonna come back down and do that again. So you can make your yarn any length. You can make it thicker, thinner. If you make it too thin, it will break. But if you make it too thick, the bracelets will be huge. So I'm gonna finish this one and come back. Now I finished the second row. I just cut all the way up as straight as I could and then stopped right there. So now I'm gonna do that again and again and again and again, and I'll come back when I'm around here. So when you're getting to the very end and there's only like one cut left and then it's the seam, you're gonna start cutting right here and then you're gonna cut all the way off. You're gonna cut right off because we don't need this. It won't stretch right when you try to make the yarn. So I'll show you. You're gonna start here. You're gonna cut. So when you're at the end right here, you're just gonna cut right off. See, you just cut it right off, and then you have that seam over here that we don't need anymore. And now this is what your final product looks like. They're all loops. The bottom should be loops. The top should kind of look like fringe. So now we're gonna cut this into a long string. So the best way to do this is typically to position it on your arm. Okay, so once you have this part, show them what you do next.
Then this is how I like to cut it because it makes it easier. But so you'll notice that these are quite small because we want the yarn to be thin. So that's why we did cut these pretty thin. Then I just kind of put it on my hand like this.
And you take the fabric scissors.
Go ahead, I'll let you talk.
And you're gonna take it from, let me get on this side. You're gonna take it from the bottom and cut at a diagonal angle. See how she's diagonal?
So I'm one in, well,
And then
or you could go from here to here or here to here, obviously.
This is good angle. Then you're gonna cut that way.
And I'm trying to keep all the yarn about the same. And then I'm just gonna continue at this diagonal. And then as you'll see, the yarn's gonna make a constant string. See? And if it's not making a constant string, you know you're not doing it right.
Should be making a long string. So you're gonna do this all the way
To the end. Oh, I'm gonna go faster.
Okay, so after you have cut the diagonal lines, you should have like this. So first step, once you have all of your like little strings, or your singular string that's really long, you're gonna wanna look for the beginning or the end, just one side of it. Like here, I found a side. Okay, so first we need to stretch. Before we make a ball, we need to stretch it out. So you don't wanna yank it really fast because it might snap, because these are really thin. So you just wanna take the front part and just pull it, and you'll feel the tension. And you just don't wanna snap it. If it does break, it's not the end of the world. You can just start another ball, it's okay. But you want to pull it, and then wherever you just ended stretching it, grab again and pull. See how I grab right before it? And you can get this going pretty fast. So I'm going to do this all the way through. So once you've stretched it all out, and it looks a lot thinner like this, again, you're going to find the end. I always lose it. Find the end. Now we're going to make a ball. It should look like this in the end, or this. So we're going to make a ball, and different sizes of balls makes different amounts. This would probably make like 20 bracelets, maybe a little less. This would probably make like 25, 30 bracelets. But you're gonna take it, and you can do this a million ways. Take it like this, wrap it around my pointer finger, my middle finger like this, and I wrap diagonally kind of, so like one time that way, one time this way. So I wrap it a few times, and then when I get good enough, I pull it off. Okay, and then I just kind of like start wrapping around the little ball I've made. Let's let it focus. Oh, not focus. Ah, okay, you can tell though what I'm doing. So then you wrap this way, and your string might get tangled, but that's okay. So you just keep wrapping and wrapping. Really, I'm gonna do this all the way until the ball is gigantic. So once you've made your ball of yarn, you're all set to make the bracelets. So I have another video right after this teaching you how to make the bracelets. We're gonna make the length. I usually do a forearm. You're gonna tape it down and make the bracelets. So this is your yarn, and again, this could make, it depends on how long your bracelets are, but this ball of yarn about this size, coming from a shirt about this big, this wide, could probably make like at least 20 bracelets, if not more, because the bracelets for the kids are not that big. So you can make quite a few. So thank you so much for watching. In the description, I'm gonna put some different videos from other people showing how to make this in case you can't tell what I'm doing. So in the description, there'll be more videos kind of showing you what to do, but this is how you make the yarn.